Welcome to the Digital Edge.
Great to be here.
Today we're diving into the story of a really interesting Malaysian startup called Softinn.
Yeah, they operate in that vacation rental booking space,
Yeah,
cloud-based systems.
exactly. And we're going to unpack their journey, from the early days, getting funding, right up to where they are now in a pretty competitive field.
And use that as a lens, sort of, to look at the broader startup scene in Southeast Asia. What are the challenges, the opportunities?
Right. So let's kick things off. Softinn, founded back in 2013.
That's right, 2013 in Malacca, Malaysia, founded by Ji-Shen Lee and Ken Lee.
And their core business is this cloud system for vacation rentals. Now, funding, always critical.
Always.
They managed to pull in, what, $225,000 total?
Yeah, $225K over 2 rounds. The main one was a seed round, same amount, $225K back in January 2017.
Okay, and Kairos Capital was involved in that one.
They were, and then later that same year, 2017, they got a grant. Prize money, basically.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Any idea of the amount?
It's undisclosed, but the interesting part is who participated. You had MavCap, Case Startup, Grand Challenge.
Kairos Capital again?
Yep, them again, and Intrace Capital Partners. So 4 institutional backers in total, counting Kairos.
That's pretty significant for an early-stage company, isn't it? Getting that kind of validation.
Absolutely. Especially getting MavCap and the Case Startup Challenge involved alongside venture capital, it suggests they had something compelling early on.
So what exactly are they offering? What's the product?
Well, they've got a whole suite, really, aimed at boutique hotels and vacation rentals, mostly in the Asia-Pacific region.
Okay, like what?
So there's the Hotel Property Management System, or PMS. That's your basic front desk software, easy to use.
Right, the nuts and bolts.
Exactly. Then there's the Hotel Channel Manager. This is really important.
Why is that?
It syncs everything, reservations, rates, availability across all the big online travel agencies, Booking.com, Agoda,
Airbnb,
yeah. So you don't get double booked and your pricing is consistent everywhere. Super crucial.
Makes sense. Avoids headaches.
Big time. And then they have a hotel booking engine.
Okay, what's that for?
This lets hotels take direct bookings on their own website.
Ah, cutting out the middleman.
Precisely. No commission fees to the OTAs on those bookings. That can really help the bottom line for smaller places.
Smart. Anything else?
Yeah, a couple more things. A hotel website CMS, basically a simple website builder, no coding needed.
Good for hotels that aren't tech savvy.
And finally, a hotel self-check-in kiosk for, contactless check-in, check-out, even walk-ins.
Okay, so pretty comprehensive package for their target market.
Definitely covers the key bases.
Now let's talk competition. It's not like they're the only ones doing this.
No, definitely not. The info suggests they have about 8 active competitors.
8? Wow.
Yeah.
And are those competitors well funded?
Well, interestingly, only one of the 8 is listed as being funded.
Huh. Okay. Who are the main ones they're up against?
The top names mentioned are Sabiap, Zivu, and Trewan.
Right. But here's something interesting I saw. According to Tracks and Scoring, as of, fairly recently, April 2025,
Yeah.
Softinn was ranked second among those 8 competitors.
Second. That's pretty impressive, especially with relatively modest funding compared to maybe some global players.
Right. It suggests they're punching above their weight, maybe holding their own.
It really does. And, they had some early wins, too. We saw reports they won the WIT startup pitch in Tokyo in 2017.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. And Echelon Asia Top 100 back in 2016.
Exactly. Those kinds of things, even early on, build credibility. They show you can execute. There was even an article mentioning their humble beginnings back in 2016, tracking their growth.
So that foundation seems solid. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. What does this tell us about the wider picture in Southeast Asia for startups?
Well, it fits into a larger narrative. Malaysia, for instance, has been actively trying to build its digital economy for a while now. Remember the Multimedia Super Corridor, the MSC?
Vaguely, yeah, back in the 90s.
Mid-90s, yeah, 1996. They've had goals for creating startups, even unicorns. So Softinn emerges from that kind of environment, that push towards digital.
And Southeast Asia generally.
Yeah.
It seems like a place with huge potential.
Oh, absolutely. The sources we looked at consistently highlight the opportunity. You've got a massive growing digital market. People are adopting digital tech rapidly.
And for SaaS companies like Softinn.
It's seen as maybe less saturated than, say, North America or Europe. Plus, you're strategically located between China and India. Key sectors like e-commerce, cloud computing, they're booming.
But There's always a but, isn't there? Can't be that easy.
Definitely not easy. The diversity is the big challenge. Every country is different.
How so?
Well, think about regulations, product registrations. They vary hugely between Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam.
Right. It's not like the EU where things are more harmonized.
Not at all. Then you have different currencies, figuring out pricing for each market, language, obviously.
And even how people use tech differs, right? Like social media.
Exactly. TikTok might be huge in Indonesia or the Philippines for marketing, but in Singapore or Malaysia, maybe it's more Instagram or WhatsApp. You have to know that local context.
Plus the geography itself. Lots of islands. Logistics must be tricky sometimes.
Can be, yeah. So for any company, especially SaaS, wanting to expand across Southeast Asia, localization is absolutely key.
It's not just translating your website.
No, it's understanding the business culture, like how important are face-to-face meetings in some places, navigating different legal systems, deciding whether you need teams on the ground in each country or if you can manage remotely.
It seems like Softinn, being from the region, might have a bit of an advantage there, maybe an intuitive understanding.
You'd think so. Their focus on Asia-Pacific from the start suggests they were aware of these complexities. It's different than a U.S. or European company trying to break in cold.
So wrapping this up, Softinn's story is a great little case study, isn't it?
It really is. It shows the dynamism, the potential in Southeast Asia. They got funding, built relevant products, found a niche.
But it also underlines those hurdles. The need to be adaptable, understand local nuances, navigate that diverse landscape.
Precisely. Their journey shows both sides the opportunity and the complexity. And their success so far, getting ranked second among competitors, suggests they're navigating it pretty well.
It definitely makes you appreciate the challenges and successes of startups coming out of that region.
Yeah, and with the digital economy just continuing to grow there, we'll likely see many more stories like this. It's a space to watch.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of The Digital Age.
Thanks for tuning in.
We hope this look at Softinn gave you some valuable insights into the Southeast Asian startup world. Join us next time on The Digital Age.